This is the X Products can cannon. It comes with its own upper minus the bolt and carrier, and it's a pretty simple device. The launch tube actually acts as a barrel nut, and the barrel just has these holes here and a plug right there so it doesn't go through. It's got the locking lugs right there and an index pin right there. I'll let you look at this. Nothing to it. But they put a lot of research and development into this thing to make it just right for launching cans, 12-ounce soft drink cans, among other things, using the M200 blank ammunition. I outfitted this A3 carry handle with a military issue quadrant sight for the M203 grenade launcher. And though it's not calibrated for these numbers, because I doubt if a 12-ounce can flies like a 40mm grenade, I can make a range card for that and establish what distance each one goes. Probably 400 is going to be 100 yards, so that's roughly a 45-degree angle. I'm going to try to hit that hill over there in the field. That's one of our shooting berms. It's about 100 or 120 yards away. I'm just going to aim at it with the quadrant sight. Yeah, that's probably about 100 yards. Maybe a little bit more. Woo! Well, you can still drink it, but I don't know if you'll be able to launch it again or not. It's kind of egg-shaped now. This one's still good. Look at how close these were. The quadrant sight worked better than I even thought it would. With this thing all the way out on 400, that was the longest range I got. If I would try to aim higher or even one click lower, you could totally see that it would translate into a shorter distance. So whatever angle that happens to be right there is the sweet angle for this thing. Looks like pretty close to a 45. The donor rifle is a brand new Smith & Wesson M&P 15. I just put X Products upper on there with the Smith & Wesson A3 carry handle. And I had read on the internet that these quadrant sights don't work with the A3, they're made for the A2. Well, I'm not sure, that may or may not be, but it sure seems to work fine. The only problem I have is under recoil. Yeah, it's hard to believe that this would have more recoil than an actual 40mm grenade on a M203, but this thing will fold this way or that way just from the kick. As far as recoil, when I spoke to one of the engineers at X Products, he told me it was about like a trap load in a 12 gauge shotgun, and I would say that's pretty accurate. After you fire enough, you actually can feel it a little bit in your shoulder. I didn't expect that. When I watched the other people's videos, it looked like it was nothing. Well, with a 12 ounce soft drink, you know, there's where you're getting your impulse like a 12 gauge, but when you're shooting a tennis ball, it's almost non-existent. I just want to answer some of the questions that you probably have, because they're questions I had before I received this. I was wondering how much damage this would do to a can, and you know, apparently you do have to use quality, expensive soda. You know, soda's pretty cheap when you compare it to ammo anyway, so that's really not the issue. But you need to use thick-walled aluminum cans, not the, you know, bargain cheapies. Apparently a tennis ball is real close to the 2.6 inch diameter of a standard beverage can.
Yeah. Now that was cool.
Cycling is not accomplished by the back pressure because, and that's actually a good thing, because if it were, you wouldn't be able to safely load it from a magazine. You'd have to do a single round, because it wouldn't be safe to put your hand out here on the end with a loaded chamber. And that's what the instructions tell you too. They also tell you not to put your hand around the barrel when you're firing, in case you'd have a back pressure, you know, catastrophic failure. You don't want to have your hand here. You put it here on the receiver. And they also say to only load 5 rounds, and that's what I've been doing. I don't know what the reason is yet, but if it says that in the manual, I'm gonna abide by it. Wow, that one is high as a tennis ball, I think. Oh, that one's dented. Hey, that was pretty cool. Now, distance-wise, that's probably about, what, 40 yards maybe, where it landed? 35, 40.
I'd say 35, 40, yeah.
And that was almost straight up. Well, it was at a good angle.
I suppose I could have gone more straight up.
Yeah, but
with the way the ground is.
I probably don't want a big dent in my roof or a broken windshield.
From my experience, that it's very close to a shotgun, but I think the impulse is a little slower. So like when you shoot a 50 BMG.
Right,
it's about the same as a 12 gauge, but it's
bigger, slower.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought too. There's no sharpness to it at all.
Yeah.
Just like how it sounds is how it feels. Just kind of a whoop. Okay, I've got this Sturmgewehr blank ammo from Germany. Let's try one of these with a can, because I want to see if it has the same impulse as the M200. Whoa, that one blew up the can. That's got way more power. Holy cow. I could feel it on my shoulder on that one.
I could totally hear it.
That's like a grenade launcher power. Now what am I going to do with 900 rounds of can shredders? I guess I'd
try it with a tennis ball.
Tennis ball, exactly. We're on the same frequency. Okay, that's the super duper German blank. The gigantic primer. Looks like I 50 cal primer on there. Alright, now we're gonna use that same thing. See if we can blow the fur off a tennis ball. Aiming for the dirt pile. definitely went farther. That's probably 120, 125 yards. So that's the X Products Cannon. Thanks a lot for watching.
That hurt my gut.